Alright, let's start this. So, for the 20 people here, I think it's in the title. I have never played Ace Attorney Investigations before. I've played all of the 6 mainline Ace Attorney games, so I'm pretty familiar with the series. I've heard really mixed things about this game. I know everybody likes the sequel, but I've heard very mixed things about the first one. Oh, I guess Edgeworth is dead.
Oh.
And I'll probably be, oof, that's a sound effect. Yikes. I'll probably be reading, like, live voice acting for, like, 1 character per case. Because I'm not super in the mood for it, but it's, kind of boring to play a game like this if you're a voice actor and you're not gonna be reading for someone. Okay, I will turn down the game volume. Doing my best. It's actually at 8%.
Yeah, most games on my, what is this thing called? My mixer. All of them are like 5. Games are so loud.
Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? Is this an airplane? Holy shit! Is there an elevator in this airplane?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you guard the text scrolls very slowly in this game. Return to your seats and fasten your seat belts. The pause after he dropped his wallet or whatever. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? Am I a secret thief? I'll turn myself in.
My secret thief.
Why is there an elevator in this airplane? It was when I was still but a young child. Oh no, not this very handsome anime man.
Please make him stop.
That flight attendant outfit looks horrible.
She has a giant ring on her head.
Where else would you put a body in an airplane? I don't know, fucking anywhere. Oh man, I hope Jonathan Christmas up there as our villain. Yeah, so I don't know how many characters are in this little case. This is case 2 of 5, I think. But if anyone's played this before, please nominate characters for me to read for. I'm sure, like, when I see one of them, I'll know.
I will.
Hello.
Alright.
Streaming, you're streaming the attorneys. Law.
Her scarf upsets me. I really don't like her buttons. Like the bright purple pink diamond buttons that look like they're from a different outfit.
I'm curious if Jello can hear me.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. He didn't say anything, so I was just like, oh.
Piff greeted you.
But you didn't.
caresses monitor.
Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Oh, sure doesn't. Sweats at most of the series. Sweats at the last case, actually. I guess I'll just be Edgeworth until further notice. I like this line of busted pixels going through Miles's eyes and the chair. Normally
yeah.
I'd blame the emulator, but actually I think the sprite work in this game is pretty bad so far.
Oops.
Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder again. Miss Tenero? Tenero? What's her, do I have her full name? I could probably get it from the pun. Rhoda Tenero. Rhoda, nope. I don't know what that
Rhoda
pun.
tomorrow?
Rhoda. Help me out, chat. How is that a pun? We'll work it out together. Miss Tenero, was it? I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance to murder you! A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. The professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous.
Boy, Edgeworth, you're kind of encroaching, mate.
Of course. As you wish. I love that they just left him in, like, the passenger area. I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. I'm scared of elevators. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve, but I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime actually occurred. Sorry, Edgeworth, we're in international skies. I don't like her hair either. I pretty much hate everything about her design, actually. Like,
Oh, the weird cube thing is her hair. Oh.
yeah, no, if you made her outfit like white, or like yellow instead of white, I think it would be perfectly horrible in every single way. Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it, much like the man in the elevator. Why are her buttons her earring? Because it matches. What murder weapon? My wallet? The murder weapon dripping with blood. Really now? As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder. Apparently, you also lie with a smile on your face. Oh, that's it? Okay, what evidence do I even have? I have a wallet. A body. And, a Sky magazine.
I was too enraptured by the articles in here. There's no way I could have killed him. It's true. He almost finished the crossword puzzle.
This is a wallet. Miss Tenero, what is the pun of your name? Ugh, force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? It's very hard to act when you don't know what the next words will be because the text crawl is so slow. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you.
Oh,
I'd like to direct your attention to this! It's a stinky wallet. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Mr. Nero. Now then, do you still think I'm the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet? You dumb bitch! As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it is only grape juice. I love this series. This series is about murder, yet they refuse to acknowledge alcohol exists. That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist.
I usually dip my wallet in my beverages.
It is the best way to suckle on the bevy. I'm keeping you tied up. You're too weird. Oh, by the way, Will and Piff are here also.
yes.
She's trembling, and the tacked-on please at the end sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light. Contents of the wallet note, I murdered him.
Oh, shit.
She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Gennaro, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me.
A gun?
Just an entire revolver. It seems that this passport is all that's in here. Just a light snack. As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet has the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
What is it now? Why would you ask who— if you're this dumb at assuming, wouldn't you assume it's mine? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is from the Republic of Borginia! Miss Ackby Hicks. I'm used to Ace Attorney 6 and 5 where they gave up on the pun names. So they'll just flat out name people like Peace, Love, and Understanding, but like spell a few letters wrong. So I've lost my touch of being like, oh, I get it.
Type P.
How dare you! If I'm flying on an airplane that has an elevator, I clearly am not in need of money. So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me. I see. Bonk. Is making a fool of herself pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present the piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. I should spare her and point out how much of a dumbass she is. He doesn't... there's no money.
Objection!
I wonder if I might get a word in, Mr. Nero. Mr. Nero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. Simply put, as you saw with your own eyes, the only thing inside Mr. Hicks's wallet was his passport. Because I stole the money already.
Yeah.
If I really
That
was...
is kind of a problem.
Yeah. If I really was after his money, then why would I steal a penniless travel wallet? Also, look at my weird cravat. Do you really think I'm not loaded?
It's made of money, actually.
You would like to think that, but that's not possible. There's no way the killer didn't know that the wallet was empty to begin with. What? How? I actually have no idea. How can I show her that the killer knew the wallet was empty from the get-go? I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I don't know.
Look at this magazine.
Is okay. Yeah, no, this is to chat. This is the first one. This game was officially translated, so I would think they keep the pun name thing. I guess I'll check inside for details. Nope. Probably not that one. Let's check out the body. Check. Oh, because this is a weird layout. Alright, let's go for it, I guess. As you can clearly see, he's surrounded by money and a credit card that in no way could have naturally fallen out of his wallet, leading you to conclude that I rifled through his pockets after I killed him.
Throwing money everywhere.
I admit that the wallet was probably not empty at the time of the murder. Not that I would know. That's pretty evident by the bills and cards strewn about the inside of the elevator. I think you've come to realize the problem with your logic. I would surmise that the victim's wallet fell out during their struggle, and that's when its contents emptied onto the floor of the elevator. I doubt the killer could have missed such an occurrence. Yes, according to your supposition, if I were the killer, I would have been going after a wallet I knew to be empty. It's like when you kill a monster in an RPG and the money just sort of flies all over the place. And since I clearly was not attempting to gather the scattered money, it renders your argument of theft completely invalid. Can I get a drink, by the way? Maybe some grape juice. Speaking of fan translations, will you be watching Daigayuko Saiben? No? I'm bummed out, because, like, I actually really want to play that game, because everything I've seen about the character designs and the music is fantastic. Will you all please be quiet? Mr. Nero, you lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought I was the killer. What do you think of this game in terms of mechanical differences so far? I don't mind the logic, because it's basically just courtroom shit, and courtroom is I thought that was like untranslated Japanese for a split second, but it's actually hieroglyphs. Have I played this game? No. Isn't the title blind? Yeah, it says it's blind. What the fuck? Who is this piff-ass bastard? Mr. Nero, if you could please translate. Go, servant, translate this language. Oh, it sounds like Borginian. Oh, God. I really want to voice this guy instead. What? Where is Borginia? Do you think? Like, what even accent is this? Probably like around Russia, like the eastern part of Russia, or the western half of Russia.
That sounds about right.
I see he is giving the runabout. What? Oh, I clicked profiles. I thought it just opened that for no reason. I don't require interpreter. I speak English just well. See? Yo! The attendant. Actually, wait, I have a better voice. What is that accent? I die, fuck. I will rip it from your fucking eyes. I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive in the airport. Okay, now I'm going back to stroke this statue. What? I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You are the one who stuck your nose. Oh wait, that is Edgeworth. It is contagious. Yeah, I should only be one of these guys. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in Virginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer. A rich seller of beauty.
Every time he gets in this animation where he's doing the finger guns, it's hearing.
Pardon? I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say.
They do say?
I admit, I look like a Final Fantasy boss. Like an early game, like the 40% mark boss. I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go into the elevator. Going down to the lounge.
Elevator.
It was at exactly 6 o'clock. He had the clock on his ass cheek, so I could not have missed it. Wait, you saw him at 6? I understand, see? Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Hicks was his name, was it? I guess he's fatter, I should probably give him a little... Then I said the man Hicks was killed in a 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at this time was this prosecutor, yes?
And you.
No, I am innocent man who is not a clown. Buddy, I think you might have a problem with your grape juice. What the fuck is...
Fine glass of grape juice.
What is this plane? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No complaint, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you've put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have, what you say, the evidence? No, it was me, you got me. Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you saw? Enough to give testimony? Of course, I was looking at that man the whole time. Fantastic ass, like a chiseled god. He was playing with that annoying little small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that's what your people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click.
That's a gun.
From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. No, it doesn't. Ah, computers.
Maybe a gumball machine?
Oh, wait. He just has an entire gumball machine under his arm. A simple cell phone. A laptop organizer I can see, but it's kind of low budget. We are on an elevator airplane. We are on this double-decker airplane. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. I can't get yeah, I love this finger guns emoji. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If I were the murderer, here is how I would kill you. I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. What? What is this motion I am doing? Am I rubbing my nipple?
I think it's I think it's like wiping the statue, but it sure does look like.
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
I totally forgot the statue's
Fine
there, and it's
criminal.
the same color as his shirt. Yes, I think that is how nipple play. I think that is how you say it in English.
Can you
It's-
imagine if this guy looked you dead in the eyes playing with his nipples, like, find criminal, I dare you. Like,
It's- It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there is a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then.
Okay.
Ha! This should not be approved. I love this guy has some great fucking expressions. Wiggle my finger at you.
Bang, 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 bang.
Be sure to examine that poster. Okay, cool. Yeah, oh, I should say, so I don't really, I am playing blind, so, like, don't like, explicitly ever tell me what to do, but if you ever remember something that, like, threw you off when you played this, or, like, there was a dumb part of the pixel hunt, feel free to tell me and save some time. I don't mind that shit. You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ah, we will see. I continue to stroke my statue. What? Unbelievable! I am in your debt, Mr. Nero. Oh,
was
great.
fast.
You're my partner for this case. I have to keep looking at your ugly ass? No problem. That's fine. It's only natural as I am still a suspect in this case.
You know who did not have ugly ass? Dead man.
Beautiful ass. I would kill him to skin it and sell it as an art piece. Hypothetically speaking.
Excuse me, leaves with knife. Good.
I cannot get this blood out of this statue. Someone help.
It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. This is. Have they ever seen an airplane before? Oh, so I don't mind. I don't like the movement system, I have to say. It's a movie poster for License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Is that the genre listing for this movie? I can't even begin to imagine what the plot of this movie would be like. Well then, consider the mission a successful one. Oh, who is this? Oh, is this a sleepy, cute, blonde stewardess? I hope she's the murderer so I get to talk to her more. Wake up, you!
She have a cat?
Oh, yeah, looks like it. No need for you to apologize. I just find it hard to believe she's asleep on the job. If I were her boss, I'd see to it that her salary was cut so low that it was in the red. I will murder you.
Jesus, Edgeworth.
I like Edgeworth, but he is kind of an asshole.
He is still just firing off, huh?
Mr. LeBlanc seems to be protecting the gargantuan vase on the I guess he would say vase. The gargantuan vase on the chair rather closely. Is that what that is?
I have fake gun. Bang, bang, you are dead.
I don't think there's any real connection between a piece of art and being an attendant. What, you're so rude. As though there was such a thing as an amateur flight attendant. You just talked to a lady asleep on the job, you asshole! Alright.
It's a good thing I don't have the memory of a goldfish.
What kind of airplane is this? I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero.
Whatever it was.
I guess getting him the access to check out the crime scene? I see.
Yes.
I will bear that in mind.
I'll be back. Get food.
Bye. So my time runs out at his and the crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. But by the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. Ooh, a first-class killer. At least I know that much for sure. No one has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. I assume. I have no reason to think that. Now then, let's get started. Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. Hello, someone. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. Piff just went to get food. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means the killer was around somewhere.
Holy shit.
Wow!
He's
He's
smart!
smart!
On the plane.
I believe the killer is on the... The killer is a human being, unless it's that cat. It's a human or a cat.
Perhaps it was that steak the man was cutting, or perhaps that vase. It's one of
Mr.
six
Edgeworth,
different
are you
things, but I
okay?
assure you, they're on the plane.
The first order of
Unless
business...
they have a jetpack, he starts thinking.
The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust, fellow human. To a save state.
Just made me think that if Edgeworth instead had a wild imagination, this game would just be called Ace Attorney Imaginations. Just like,
That would be so fucking funny. Glasses and candles are thrown into disarray by the turbulence. Really seems like you guys would like nail shit to the floor if turbulence is a problem.
Only when we spin the plane.
Gosh, what kind of a plane is this? They got statues?
Yeah, no, it's insane. This is a 2-story plane.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. Being a piss baby when it comes to earthquakes. Earthquacks.
You know, earthquakes on a plane. Very
On a
serious.
plane.
I pity that a bronze statue knows not when a good drink has been spilt at its feet. What the fuck, Edgeworth?
What? Edgeworth?
Thought you were trying to win her trust, not be crazy.
He's the killer.
Is that a hint of hero worshipping I detect? So when I heard about this game coming out initially, I haven't played it until now, but I've known it existed for a long time. I was like, oh, cool, you finally get to see Edgeworth and Gumshoe buddy cop stuff. But like, instead, he was just really mean to Gumshoe, and it genuinely felt like they weren't friends, which actually bummed me out a lot.
Aw.
Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to the clouds? The clouds. They tell me nothing! Did Aram write this game? The clouds. They tell me
They tell me
nothing.
nothing.
This is a very Aram thing.
Actually, Aram doesn't really like this game that much. He liked it when he played it, but then got convinced to dislike it by some other Ace Attorney friends of his, I think. What floors does this elevator service?
The two.
There's only two.
There's no... if you press the basement floor, it just shoots out the elevator like an airlock. So, the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and the second, huh? What? Is this a blimp?
Edgeworth.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Ooh, a doggy! What is this?
Whoa.
What is this? A sinister-looking figure on the floor here?
That's the body, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'll be the judge of that. Body or
Since
murder weapon picks up corpse.
Since it obviously wasn't me, it must have been this guy.
You have an in-flight shop? Why does that surprise you at this point? There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? I
Is
don't
this
know.
Chris's blood?
Ooh, a credit card.
Mine?
Yoink.
Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mrs. Hicks's wallet at some point. The big twist.
Ooh.
Examine. I wonder what was hanging off of this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now, if I could just put my finger on it. A finger! Examine! I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. I doubt anybody was expecting an elevator on this flight. Yes, she's trembling. Although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right here. I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Crazy. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. Could this have been the cause of death? He appears to be struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. Is this money or tickets or something? Nope, it's money. Okay. Alright.
What about his little lanyard thingy?
A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death.
Very suspicious.
Yes? What is it? Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? I am a cunt.
Oh.
It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Perhaps Master of the Obvious would be... Oh, Master of the Oblivious would be more fitting. You're very pleased with yourself, Edgeworth.
Clouds, they tell me nothing.
I would say they told me nothing.
That's a bit of a stretch right now. Let's look for more things. Ah, this grape juice.
Oh yes, grape juice.
This toppled over chair. Yet another victim of the turbulence.
Earthquake. Specifically earthquake.
It was. The Rocker Pals? Will, I didn't know you started a band.
Who's my pal?
I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals?
They have jousting matches in rocker chairs.
Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation could get. Words, Gumshoe hates those. That's not a piano! That's the murderer!
Piano pulls out gun.
Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Edgeworth, you booked this flight.
Edgeworth examining piano. Perhaps this is the clicky machine that Zink was talking about.
There are quite a few copies of Sky magazine in the machine rack. The magazine rack, whatever. That's not a bad idea. I've heard the youth of today... Edgeworth, you're 24! I've heard the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Aram, did you write this game?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me open the snipping too. I'm just gonna repeatedly at Aram with this.
I mean, you have to. Like, how can you not? This is so Aram.
Oh my god. Alright.
He's around possibly 26 by now.
Case in point. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful while passing through the area. wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. Damn, it didn't work. She'll have to be next. There must still be clues to be found in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. Okay. I actually don't like the investigations part of most Ace Attorney games. What or who is this? Oh. Okay. I was actually trying to look at the elevator buttons. The murder. What else? Maybe his face.
Did you check his little lanyard thing at all?
I did.
I don't know how. Oh, you did. Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine. Wait.
Is there something sticking out of his pocket?
I will check. I have a lot of stuff to blow, so I'm gonna see if I can connect this.
Using my brain thingy.
True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, that's a different story. Alright, well I guess I could have saved myself some time and gone with that initially. In the elevator. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Wait, no, if I'm ever like... Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, Chad, if I'm ever, like, wasting time and stuff, especially on an investigation section, go ahead and point shit out, because pixel hunting isn't fun. I hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture! This son of a bitch! It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. So the killer was a building!
Makes sense now.
He
Oh,
photoshopped
I guess there's
himself
more
into
shit
this.
to see. Oh, I can deduce something. Let us deduce.
What the deduce?
No, I don't. Here, hang on. Okay. Let's look at my organizer. Let's take a look at this picture. Oh, he's got the lanyard. Okay. So there was something on his lanyard. Deduce.
Deduce.
Eureka! I am Edgeworth. Ahem, his cell phone, Mr. Nero. Oh my god, can you imagine if this is what he sounds
I don't actually imagine Edgeworth sounds like this, but since he was an antagonist in the first game, this is the voice I gave him, and it's kind of stuck with me. Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Who wears a cell phone around their lanyard? Alright. Okay. Okay. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Mr. Nero. Yes. It is a rather tragic crime.
Yes, very sad.
Spilling grape juice.
Those poor chairs that toppled. The clouds tell me nothing.
You won't do shit, Rhoda, but sure.
And I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over all
Wild
the leads.
accusations.
The key to solving this lies at the intersection of my logic and the evidence. Thanks. What are you, the first hint coin in a Layton game? Organizer. To solve the puzzle, I will have to input the answer.
Thanks, Hitcoin.
Brain thinky.
Oh yeah, I've never actually heard, it's weird. Actor's illusion. Ryan Hoyle is his actual name. I'm so used to tapping the screen to move places, I hate this navigation thingy. Yeah, no, he's good. I've never heard his Edgeworth, but I imagine he does a pretty good one. He did Maxwell and Hamtaro Abridged.
Oh, yeah. The part I voiced for this, the Let's Dub finally came out.
Oh yeah, 3 or 4 years later.
Yup.
Is there anything I missed? That was face, card. I checked all the stuff on the floor. Have you examined the big wine stain next to the body? I don't think so. I thought I tried to. I think both times it just zeroed in on the statue, which is not what I was going for. Here, let me try this. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. There's some grape juice next to the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Aha! I found some very important evidence. Suckles grape juice out of the carpet. What is the important piece of evidence in the scene? Grape juice.
Take that!
They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree they're a set of footprints. Humans use these, so we can finally rule out that cat.
Unless they were wearing shoes like Puss in Boots.
Damn it! Is the killer the elusive Puss in Boots?
We can't rule out the piano yet. It has legs.
Yes, these belong to our killer. I don't think that will be any help to Why? That actually doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Really?
You can maybe at least get,
Can I-
good size.
Logic? I have it! I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. Yes. It's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding. Or rather, the grape juice in this case.
Grape juice.
These footprints here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean he didn't exit the elevator. Yes, you're right, I guess.
But that would also just mean that you rode up with him. Shut up, Rhoda.
But if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless, which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. He had someone with him. Why would you? I don't know why you'd phrase it that way.
So,
There was
for
actually.
some reason,
Go
when
ahead.
you said spotless, they were saying he had no, his soles were spotless, meaning he was soulless. He couldn't have died. He had no soul.
So you figured it out, Edgeworth. The body stands up. What's going on over there? Oh, thank God. I can't get over this guy. Unforgivable. This is unforgivable. Do you understand? Hi, Dave. Do you understand what I am saying? This movie is late. Wait, lame? What did he say? It is the same level as bad as if the plane arrived late. What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. Will, I wish there was like an easy way that I could have you read for this guy because he feels like a kid.
No, sorry. There's like a 15-second delay, so unless you wanted me
Yeah.
to say something,
We could do like a screen share thing in Discord, but I'm worried that it'd fuck up both connections, you know?
Yeah.
Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? Yes. If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now.
Yeah, get that one.
What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, nearly fucking wrong. There is no room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, shoot yourself. Why are you aiming your finger gun at me? Fine, shoot yourself.
Shoot your.
Shoot yourself. I believe you mean, shoot myself? I do not. I am shooting myself. I'm so glad I can see his talk cycle now. It informs me of how to do his voice better. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. And the body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? And you are the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal. But that's it? That's all I've got? Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. But what if the killer was Puss in Boots? After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, I have to keep this accent. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry, do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? I won't hesitate, bitch. Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you will look at his outfit, ew, am I right? Gross.
Good enough for me.
Clearly, I am dressed finer, therefore I'm not a murderer.
With the grape juice footprints, because that would mean he had walked
Yeah, I
that
tried,
way,
it
but-
didn't work.
Oh, really?
No, stop! This is an invaluable piece of evidence. If you do not know how to use it, then give it to me! I will try to use it for you.
Eats footprints.
How did you do that? Carpet. Delicious. Okay. Maybe I don't know why I ever try not to press things in Ace Attorney. You should always press everything at least once. Are you certain, or are you stupid? Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course I saw what was inside. And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. Oh yes? Well, what if I told you there were footprints on the carpet? You fool. Mr. LeBlanc, what is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice. Yes? And will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? You grape juice spilling son of a bitch! No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? They are illegal in my country. Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves someone other than Mr. Hicks was exited the elevator alive. Oh, my hair looks like the kind of cushion your grandma puts on a chair. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? I guess that's the language now.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Ah, that's the design we're going with for the other flight attendant, huh?
Oh. Hello.
She's got a teddy bear?
She's more like a titty bear, am I right?
No, you beat me too.
No way, that is totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a ghost on board this plane. Which I said as a joke, but then I remember this is Ace Attorney, and I think that's the twist in 3 different games. Please, just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me?
Piece of kidney stone. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. He farted near me, and I know it's him. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I clearly saw into the elevator he was riding. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one! What? Dare you two have an issue with my eyewitness testimony?
Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth.
I can't get over this pose!
Why were you upset? So,
Because I shoot myself.
so are you still upset now?
I am always upset! The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands.
It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him.
But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. I was always checking the time over and over again.
Why were you so attentive to the time?
Because something unforgivable was happening.
Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier.
I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time in money. You understand the point.
Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Summary of the plot and the start time. Interesting.
They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. I can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I check my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong, it matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late.
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's all right.
The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times.
So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine?
Yes. I was so looking forward to watching License to Love. Wait, did I already...
No, this is a different one. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident?
Nonsense! You doubt me?
This guy's gun pose is amazing.
No.
Now stop pointing at me like that. Odd. How did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see?
I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure. My watch is set to my destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane.
You're sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes, of course, I am a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go. I have no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch.
I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made.
Why did you say it like that? Flatter me all you want. You will not get 1 cent out of me.
That's all right. All I require is this piece of testimony. All right. Oh, nope. So, oh, what the? No. I want to check the magazine. Check. Yeah, it starts at 6 and ends at 9. Gross.
Dang.
It's way too long. Also, only one movie on this long-ass flight?
Look at the space between drinks.
Yeah, no drinks for you.
It's because that one Christmas colored guy was literally like covered in a lounge of drinks. I bet he took them all. Okay, I mean, I said it's 6. I always said it when I board the plane. Check one more
When-
time.
Didn't he also say that he saw the dude at 6?
Yeah. Let's see.
Why wouldn't he be sitting down to watch the movie at 6 if he was up and about?
Yeah, let me. Okay.
How's the movie still not going?
I don't know.
So hi, Biff.
Hold it.
Hello?
Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance. I have saving eyes. Even if it only happened, I did not miss a thing. And how can you be so sure? Just because. I would appreciate it if you didn't take my life so lightly with a simple just because. Well, then I was only making a joke. Oh, you're one of those people.
Oh,
I saw Mr. Hicks, right?
Okay, yeah. I'll look over that brochure again. Okay. Let's look at the brochure.
Let's see, the body was found at 6:15.
Yeah, I usually he would like mention something specific about the time, so I was trying to see if I could
Yeah.
press a new thing out of him. All time shown to our departure. Wow, I can't believe I skimmed over that. Okay.
But did you read Sky Magazine? Mr.
think I
LeBlanc,
can-
you said this just now in your testimony. I am a big stinky loser! Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, wait, what did you say about me? It would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like to see you take a look at this. If you believe this Sky Magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Mr. Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. I'm sure that being mentioned will have nothing to do with this case. What? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. Ugh. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And I can bet you 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m.
This face.
Okay, this guy's portraits are fantastic.
is he in a wind tunnel?
I think
That's
someone
a
cracked
private
open the
wind tunnel.
windows.
This should clear up all of the remaining accusations. Yes. Because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m., it means that the time of death could have been anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. Did no one use the elevator for 3 hours? The question
be fair,
now
that
is
was
where
really
Mr.
early in the
Hicks...
morning.
Sorry, what?
To be fair, that is like really early in the morning.
I guess, but like, even the flight attendants? The question now is where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time and what was he doing? And you are?
Oh, that's your face, huh? Cammy Meal. Alright, well. I finally got one of the name puns.
Oh man, she's a One Piece character.
Oh, she is. Only from the side that never mind. God, the open mouth portraits. Ugh. Wow.
Ugh, big teeth.
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
What? And how can you be so sure of the time?
slinks away.
Ah, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct? And during that time, did any of the passengers leave or did any new ones board the flight? I mean, not officially. What about the flight crew? She looks blitzed out of her mind. I don't get, chamomile is a kind of tea that puts you to sleep. So basically, I can assume that no one left or gone on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Alright, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15.
Okay, now, what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. Ah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you the killer?
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. It's not that obvious. This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge. Waited to kill him. Why do you care so much? And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than the lounge? Nope. Just gonna check this to be sure. This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo.
Gift shopping?
I'd imagine it's the gift shop footprints, but I'm checking this because I didn't actually read it. Okay.
Juice to 10.
Take that!
Juice.
Correct. They are headed in the direction of the shop, but they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You are right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there is another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop? This thing? Yes.
Take that!
The answer is your prosecutor's badge. I love the one time in each game that your prosecutor or attorney's badge is actually relevant.
So funny.
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank. Oh, the murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first. It does not prove you are innocent at all. No.
Shit, you're right.
Is there no way to win with this man? What is it? Oh, and why do you know this so well? Are you also a killer? And when was this? Oh, I feel bad for these girls. Gotta be up and around in the wee hours of the morning. Being a flight attendant in general feels like an awful job to me. Isn't that...
Not the funnest thing.
Though, maybe on this flight it would be a little better, given the ridiculous nature of this airplane. Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? You were in the shop right before the turbulence? Come to think of it. Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. And what is beyond that door? Then, You were on the first floor? Are you saying you passed by me at some point? I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Why did you go through this shop in the first place? You are very suspicious working on this airplane and doing your job. I wiggle my finger. Never mind, I shoot you. Pow, pow, pow.
Hi, J-Man.
Why did you not say anything until now? It is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Mr. Rhoda? Miss Rhoda? Whatever, sorry. Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? Oh my god, my fucking mouth. I can't get over it.
One Piece.
Huh? That's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Teniero?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. It's cool, dude. You said that you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet here you are. I feel like she has like no insight. Like, I'd love it if she wasn't the murderer and had nothing to do with anything and just like hates Teniero and wants to be a bitch to her. And is just like flat out lying about everything.
Is the captain the thing on her arm?
I wish.
Welcome back.
You, flight attendant. What are you trying to pull? Pull the sheep over us? I did not read that line very well.
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Teniero, why would you do such a thing? All right, bye.
Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. Are you like secretly Kay Faraday?
There's something about Miss Teniero that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is top. I read that as is too priority.
Is too priority.
She fell asleep. Why are you still mad, guy? I want to talk to her. Miss Meal, about investigating the in-flight shop. You're of no use to me asleep. Die!
What's up?
I need you to come with me so I can search the shop.
Go to hell without me. I'll catch up with you later.
How has this woman not been fired yet?
I misheard you and thought you said, go to hell without me. oh, shit. Fuck you.
Oh man, we have a discount on the world's ugliest suitcase.
So, this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Tee-hee.
Hold on, you can't clean up a potential crime scene.
Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things in here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Rules, regulations, and respect, because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. Give anyone $5 if they know what that little jingle I just sang was from. There's a very good, that was mostly for chat. There was a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Save again. I always manually save because I have a really bad history of hitting the wrong hotkey and loading up, like deleting my current save. Let's look at the world's ugliest suitcase. What are these?
Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world you try, then buy.
No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? To hide in as a murderer!
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly yeah, I guess it's iFly. iFly heads painted onto there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's just about to jump out at you?
It certainly is making
Murder
something
you.
jump inside my stomach.
Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes. You looked like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was gonna finally make my first sale, but you got right through it. Glad that's done, though. What? Oh, never try to make me give you a sales pitch again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with.
Tee, it really is pretty horrible.
I really like this bitch. I'd actually love her design if she was wearing a shirt under there.
You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda. She murdered that guy because he was like, that's the ugliest suitcase I've ever seen. Haha, just kidding. Can you imagine though?
Miss Teniero designed this?
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar maybe. Bam. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so blah. They should have picked my design. In fact, because they didn't, I killed that guy in the elevator.
Miss Teniero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. What the fuck? Oh, that was supposed to be turbulent.
You okay?
I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation.
Why do they not put, like, ties on everything?
Yeah, no.
Here, I'll put it back. Do.
Okay. I mean, there was a close-up, so should I examine this again? Yep. That's one sharp design. No, okay, that's fine, whatever.
I didn't give a shit.
There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases.
You know what I'd suggest?
Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip.
Okay, then how about you buy something from me then, as a present?
I can't think of a single... God damn it! I can't think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything.
But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time.
Try paying some attention to me. He's so mean! Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, and then we'll talk.
Alright, guess I'll just be over here. This bitch 10 feet from me.
The glass from this display case door is shattered all over the floor, and it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat? How adorable! I shall put it on post-haste. I should look at that
Second
captain's
thought,
hat.
I will buy something.
What? Wait, did I not get that piece of evidence? Alright. Why didn't I get it? I wanted the cute little captain's hat. Alternate costume unlocked!
Did you use that small animal to punch through the glass?
Oh, yeah, is this gonna be one of those things where like, oh, you found a piece of evidence too early, so you don't get it yet? There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for for sale in this display case, despite being next to those horrible suitcases. And they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream, "Buy me!" to any passers-by. Damn you, capitalism! Inside this display case is a roll of lifesavers and life vests for sale.
We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. It costs $400 to not die. But sometimes people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one?
I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Okay, is there anything else to look at? I guess I could talk to her.
I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever.
Notice anything? So, what do you think about what has happened regarding this case?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer, though, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can assure you that I'm here in this shop to prove just the opposite.
Yeah, but it was me that got you the permission to look around. You know. So don't forget that, okay? Oh, I'm gonna.
Oh man, I kind of hope she's the killer because I bet she's got a really fun breakdown.
Yeah, I
Such a
I think she is the killer specifically because of that.
Yeah, I think she's a killer because she stayed up too late for the murder itself.
Huh. How am I supposed
She's
to thank?
also.
I honestly,
also
that was a
big-
pretty. Sorry, go ahead, Glass.
I just want to point out she also has big boobs, and quite a few times they like to break down characters with ladies that have big boobs because they'll
That does
just go
happen a
jumping.
lot. Yeah, I genuinely think she's the killer for the reason I gave earlier about the suitcases, and that guy was like some kind of stupid fashion designer or a big wig.
Well, you know what? You know what'd really show your thanks? You see that item for sale over there?
Sorry, but you're going to have to make do with my words of appreciation.
I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm fucking blitzed, man. So what is that? Are you gonna give it to me? Oh, but I'm not supposed to accept any presents.
Bitch, you just said.
Unless they're really worth something.
How about your testimony?
What is that thing?
It's your testimony. You gave it to me. Yeah, let's look at my logic. Tiny captain's hat. Oh, it's logic. I swear I've seen one of these before. Have I? I actually don't remember. Is it on her little guy?
Yeah, it's on the little teddy bear.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Logic.
Give her the good old prosecutor badge flip.
I don't know. Give the old prosecutor badge flip. She definitely.
What is that, a cookie?
Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meal is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly.
How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed.
Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? You're the killer, aren't you? How about this plant?
No.
Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're getting pollen all over.
Oh, excuse me. Just like sticking his entire body into the plants. Yeah, alright, people have played this before. Feel free to tell me if I'm missing anything. I'm pretty sure I've checked everything and I don't see any obvious logical conclusions. Suitcases. I already checked the suitcases. Or am I supposed to connect them to the murder weapon since they're... I guess there's no reason not to try it. Oh, okay. I've never actually seen a failed logical connection. Broken glasses. Tiny captain's hat. Discover that the suitcases are on blocks. I don't know how to do that though. Like, I don't know how else to look at them. The clothing below her. I'm on the ground? Okay.
The hat and the raccoon?
Yeah, her little doll has the same.
I can't like connect. Oh, I guess if I can't show it to her either. It's logic. It's not evidence.
Put it on the piggy bank? I don't. There are two suitcases. Yeah, I thought I tried checking both of them. Why would they have them as separate ones? That's one sharp design. Aw.
One rolled, one didn't.
Nope, they both do the same. Captain hat plus murder weapon? I mean, I'll try it. That doesn't make any sense to me at all, but... What? The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Why would you assume that?
Funny.
What? hat.
What? That makes no sense at all. The hat is just its own object.
Why on earth would you ever connect those two?
Let's give it a go.
You never saw one that had a hat on.
Yeah. I believe
that'd be
this-
completely different.
She has a different doll with the hat on, but like, I don't know, it's just a piece of merchandise. Isn't that a separate item you can just buy and put things on? It's called Mr. Ifley, which was why it has everything in here is iFly brand, though. That doesn't make any sense to me. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Why would he do that?
You don't need to figure out that it had a hat on to see that somebody broke in to take
Yeah,
something.
alright, that was dumb. Don't tell me you don't know what... Wait. Don't tell me you don't know what things go where. Okay, that's a weird phrasing.
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything?
I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. Maybe you could have cut that entire section and that stupid line of reasoning and just let me examine the display case. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Unless, of course, I'm distracted by a cute hat.
Oh. Ooh, pretty necklaces.
The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank? But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly.
Ah! I touched the glass and cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth! It hurts!
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. I wish it cut your head off. I hate you. Is this the same man as the one portrayed by the statues around the elevator?
Yeah, that's a paperweight of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. On the bottom shelf, we have the cute one. The middle shelf is the realistic one. And on the top shelf, that's the floral version.
Floral. Are you sure about that? Let me guess. You just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. Look, books.
Oh, books.
The glass on this door is broken. I already looked at that. And she cut herself again. Okay. Should I look more specifically at the... Oh, there's a deduce. I never noticed the deduce. Well, let's try this. Oh, that worked. There's definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. iFly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case as well.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
Nope. No, there isn't.
Nope.
Which means that the glass was broken from inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat is the most important piece of evidence. So important that I should have to deduce nonsense from it. It was knocked off the head at that time, too.
That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. iFly from here after the turbulence.
That's kind of a jump, honestly.
I really like this lady. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen when I'm talking.
What?
I have a weakness for, like, sleepy idiot characters, actually. But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that is a very real possibility.
Then what if when the killer went to take Mr. iFly, they broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh?
And who would
Trying
that
to frame
be?
her so
Miss
hard.
Rhoda, of course. Whoa, wouldn't it be crazy if I framed her? I mean, she did the murder, so I could have, like, unrelated revenge on her for designing the ugliest suitcase in the world.
I honestly hope it's for that petty of a reason.
I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Am I done? I guess there's nothing else to examine. These books. iFly Airlines related books line this shelf. The history of iFly Airlines, the future of iFly
You
Airlines.
see that dude on the bottom left?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's all one set. The Seven Wonders of iFly, Fight On. Okay, you working name. Go You Airlines. I Heart Flying. The title makes it very clear that they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. Fuck you, everything. I'm Miles Edgeworth. Logic. Let me think. Turbulence. I mean, this is a fairly reasonable connection. Yes, there is definitely something wrong here.
What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange. Like, the color and such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
You're mean. You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry, Baka. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator, teehee. Don't you hate that bitch? Wouldn't you, like, love to help me push her out of the airplane?
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal.
That's all the reaction I'm getting from my murder proposal? Okay, cool.
I was totally trying to kill her. I accidentally killed this other guy instead.
I would love to have, like, just the most obvious murderer in Ace. Like, they're not, like Mr. Aramne's level, they're not trying to hide it.
Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find the answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Like the player should have been able to when you showed us this graphic the first time. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she'd heard what you just said. I would love to see her feel miserable. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right.
Yeah, those suitcases are bonkers ugly.
No. What is so unusual about this suitcase?
Dude. Everything.
Dude.
Take that!
This is what's so odd.
I don't think it's that strange at all.
Well, maybe not to that extent. I mustn't overthink this. I should let the answer come to me. Thanks, hint coin.
I don't know, this wheel?
Take that!
Nope.
Curse you, person in chat, mentioning the blocks. Now I can't stop looking at them. Oh wait, no, that was right. I expected I was wrong because the music didn't stop.
Without stoppers, one would think the turbulence would have sent it flying.
And?
And so it is very likely that this suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Oh, God, ew. Okay. This is disgusting. What's this? This wheel is completely covered in something. This color and this sense. It appears the substance in question is grape juice. But why would there be juice on the wheel of a suitcase? Oh well. This mystery is too much for Miles Edgeworth. It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of hideous cloth. Oh good, the inside's gross too. And it's soaked with blood.
Ah! It's blood!
It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Investigation complete.
He just says that out loud. Investigation complete.
7 minutes, that's all the time I have to investigate.
So, explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it's pretty safe to say the killer used this suitcase in some manner. Perhaps they held it aloft before the victim and he died immediately upon seeing its design. Such as to move something, perhaps.
But aren't you just talking about the cloth then?
That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used to wait. The thing I believe this killer... well, whatever. I think it was this body! Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it?
It's not that big, actually.
Shit, you right.
Oh, shoot.
Jumps out the airplane.
But
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from somewhere else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. Ah, yes, a typical Ace Attorney case.
So you're saying that after moving the body onto the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Wouldn't it be wackadoodle if she was the murderer?
I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. I mean, Edgeworth, she is a suspect, even though judging by meta knowledge, I highly doubt she's the killer.
Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together.
No, you're clearly the murderer. I'm not letting you do that. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tiniero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. To be continued. Sounds like a good time to save. No thanks, I don't need to.
Oh man, Cat's super happy that he got a lap to lay on.
Out of curiosity, who's my favorite prosecutor?
I guess Edgeworth?
Edgeworth and Blackwell. I actually don't really love any of the other ones, to be honest with you. I like Gavin more than most people. People don't like Gavin because he's kind of handholdy, but I like him for not being an asshole. Because most of the prosecutors are assholes for no reason. I hate... If the prosecutor in 6 was any better, I could hands down say it's my favorite game, but he's easily the worst one. Oh, right, I'm talking. What were you gonna say, Glass?
Apparently there's a cameo here.
Oh. I'm supposed to just... There's a ton of cameos in this game. Oh, ew. Is that the guy from the third case in the first game? Of all the cameos, I'm not interested in talking to. I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tiniero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake. I wasn't able to talk... Oh, I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tiniero in private. So I'm left wondering just what she was up to. Why she did do what she did. There must be a way for me to continue the investigation. Oh, I wasn't expecting this character.
I've been expecting you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany.
I go where I am needed, and wherever there are criminals to be caught.
Her name is Franziska. I know all this shit. She's a bitch. She's a bitch and kind of my sister. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are.
Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest.
You're such an asshole, Franny. What?
It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue, but I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von... Oh, hang on.
Wait a second.
I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Never, really? You never thought that would happen?
Never!
Wait, this has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim.
A misunderstanding. Those never happen in Ace Attorney. I heard all about the murder from over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Francisca, please. I would never beat someone to death. I would poison them. Do you honestly believe I killed a man?
I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. Wiggle, wiggle.
That's as it should be.
Huh. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way. The fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. That is why I lost every case I prosecuted in my game.
Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill. So why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I had no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe!
I don't have it in me to also voice Gumshoe.
Too slow.
This is... You are so abusive.
I don't like Franny at all, actually. Listen up, I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? A simple yes or no, detective.
Gumshoe's talking animation in his field sprite is so weird looking.
Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you, detective. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Francisca's up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Time to follow Francisca. No, darn, okay. I should try to get some information out of Gumshoe first. I sure could talk to Salmonella, but I'm not going to. I don't think we're gonna see Francisca in any future AA games. It seems like they're kind of abandoning the original trilogy cast. The character I'd like to see again in a mainline game is Gumshoe. Gumshoe's such a bro. He gets so shit on, it's not fair.
He's a good guy.
Also, like, I'll be honest, I've watched the press buttons and talk thing of ProZD and Mankey doing these games, and I've watched the first two. And I kind of don't want to try voicing any side characters they've done because my voice will just be a bad impression of theirs. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although, I wonder if her case has had anything to do with mine. I don't remember a hint like that. That would be great. So, how's the initial investigation going?
Well, we literally just showed up, pal, so I'm not sure what you're looking for.
That sounds like Francisca. She always was good at quick responses to a case. Oh? How so? That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Why is that odd? She got contacted via radio. It was like a 9-hour flight. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case. Like all of these strangers, fine, I'll talk to them. Oh god. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man from somewhere before. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading any of this.
So, the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Hooray! Who's this shady-looking bastard? You look like seaweed.
Can I ignore these people and go back to the plane? Oh good, I can.
So you must be the captain. I am the prodigy prosecutor Francisco von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do.
Oh good.
Oh, great.
This is the dynamic, huh?
That's why she's so upset about other lady.
Whatever.
I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Francisca and her whip.
So what, you're just going to blatantly ignore me and walk right into the crime scene? Okay. That's fine. Oh good, this guy is back.
What the fuck? Oh Jesus Christ.
How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you! Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't even have 1 second of wasteful time to spend. I guess I'll talk to you. I'm Miles Edgeworth. I'm one of the prosecutors on this case, so please let me through. But I'm on the case. Why would you do this to me, Francisca? You're such a bitch. Did you finish taking your statement yet? I do not concern if you are not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back! If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art?
Oh, you know who I bet would like those ugly suitcases is this guy. They match his outfit.
From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of art. Folk costumes. Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. So ugly. It kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Present. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Virginian cloth. As I suspected. Your hat is made of the same material, I suppose? Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more. Can I talk to you about that? Then, is this the cargo you were talking about earlier? No. My cargo this time is much many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? The stubbornness of you police, it is no good! And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room, too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview, and they still have not and they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? I assume.
Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you?
Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room?
Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances.
I understand.
You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, with your mouth, but you cannot pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Let's not complicate things and go at the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in this very lounge the body was discovered.
Wrong. Dumb. You're dumb.
Shut up. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
I wish people didn't die around me so often. The likeliest suspect, Francisca?
Do you have a problem with that?
No, but it's not like you to have such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute.
I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Vip vip. Rev rev.
Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast.
Hold it! I am Edgeworth!
So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene?
No. I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you.
And nothing more?
Shut up. Are you saying there is more I need to know? Just whips gumshoe! Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped.
It would appear that Francisca could be put in jail for flagrant abuse. And also assault. She does this to strangers. Francisca doesn't have all the facts of the case yet. No.
No.
You're wrong. Tap tap. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all.
And what does that mean?
I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves the body was moved from a different location.
Several dots.
The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body.
Wait, what is that thing?
I know it's quite ugly, just hear me out. Meaning the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions?
Excuse me?
All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth.
I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily.
You should know better than that. Avon Karma is perfect in every way except for the murders and the falsified evidence multiple times and me being a bitch.
Oh, and Dewey.
But did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
As if there is proof of that.
Where is the proof that this suitcase was moved around? I don't know, actually.
Where was it, children?
I don't... Isn't it on the suitcase? Isn't the juice?
I'm assuming it's the juice thing.
It's just weird to present the same piece of evidence twice.
Yeah.
All it takes is one look at this and you'll have your answer.
No, this is wrong. That you are an ignorant whippersnapper.
I'm like 3 years older than you. I think. Actually, who is older? She's 19? Yeah, okay. The suitcase ended up in the in-flight shop, but where did it come from? The answer should become clear if I think about the path the killer took. Very helpful hints. Fine, is it the juice?
Take that!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator.
Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that the killer dragged the suitcase? I wonder if it's the drag marks. Why even waste my time with this shit? this mark here. Wouldn't you say it looks suspiciously like tracks from 2 wheels?
I suppose.
Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. That means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here.
I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else.
I'm glad you've come to your senses. What a good waste of time this is.
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Not a bad bit of logic. You got me.
It was me.
Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly.
I get it. Just what are you insinuating?
That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. 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 Just disappears.
How would I do that, though?
Let me actually look over my evidence again, see what I have. Probably not gonna be the wallet. Oops.
How would he know to do all of this?
He can't open. He couldn't have taken it because he would need the key to open that without breaking the glass.
Yeah.
Objection, you are dumb. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared.
Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master.
But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix?
I'm a Von Karma. What would I know about the fake evidence, Svets? A fake?
This Mr. Piggy Bank, is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon.
What?
The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred.
But then what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that?
I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. Quite lucky that I randomly passed out. Unless I was drugged, maybe.
You there! Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found?
Oh no, sorry.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it seems your stall tactics are at an end. If the criminal wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth.
Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene. I think I'm gonna back out from reading Franny, since it's exhausting me. And that would be...
Noise,
But didn't
noise,
we
noise.
just...
No, Piff, don't die.
Francisca, The person you're talking about? Yes. I have no intention of interrogating her. I simply wish to silence her. But you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Mr. Nero, can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? What do you mean? In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. No, you were not.
No.
Franny silently leans over and puts cuffs on Edgeworth.
You are a suspicious fishy.
Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve.
I don't know why they're going so fast. It's like raining really hard outside.
Mr. Nero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing.
She ashamed of her suitcases.
Check out this ugly suitcase. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Teniero? Yes, about this suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? Nice job. And I think I figured out something else about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? Oops. Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? The last one there. So you're saying, Miss Teniero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? That's not exactly the impression I got. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase.
Really? Then I guess we sold out of them. Thank you very much.
I didn't say anything about buying it. I'm sorry, I can't. Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous. Maybe that was a bit too direct.
Flight attendant will remember that.
Moving on. My issue with the suitcases isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it.
I think we have to arrest Edgeworth for murder after all. That's pretty funny.
Something is amiss here. What could the meaning of this inconsistency? Oh, what could be the meaning of this inconsistency? Hang on just a second.
Alright, folks, I'm gonna bounce. Gotta get back to work and all that.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.
I have to grabbing some things really quick.
What a nice man.
Who was
what
that guy?
a good fellow.
Different versions of us.
What a man.
Alright,
What a will.
what a woman. By the way, Miss Teniero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? I thought you said there was only one left. She's used it for a long time. I think not. Miss Teniero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. I don't believe for even 1 second you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as blobbity bloobity blue.
New design, something.
Tell me, Miss Teniero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? $400? You shitting me?
Ouch.
Despite having faith in her design sense, the sale numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Miss Teniero, are you pathetic? Miss Teniero, I think I understand. I know what you're trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on this suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale on the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was you. It was you, wasn't it, Miss Teniero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and you were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Oh wow, you're really sad. But the suitcases didn't sell. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. You buy one for every single time you work a flight? This receipt is clearly time-stamped at 5:40 a.m. The perfect time to shop for a suitcase. The truth... Oh, that's not me. Miss Teniero, where are these other suitcases?
Show me your hoard.
Could very well have come from the cargo hold. Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. After all, no one would ever find it, because no one would ever purchase the suitcase. Miss Teniero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? And what about security? Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. Yes, Francisca?
You're a disgrace to the Von Karma name.
Seriously, have you not reevaluated anything? This takes place after the third Ace Attorney game, right?
so.
Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Yes, that's the only realistic possibility.
But could you have proven that they didn't get off the plane via blimp and fly to the cargo?
Francisca got information out of Miss Meal.
Phoenix Wright destroyed her so hard she has amnesia.
Oh, okay. I mean, either way. A different one. What? Is this true, Mr. Nero? Could you please show us that card right now? A missing key. I feel like we did this in the last case. Francisca, I know that you're the lead investigator on this case. However... I intend to do likewise. To be continued.
Ooh.
Pay me $5 to continue.
Please put in another coin.
Pay me.
Pay me.
Karma.
This is a very large plane.
There's an entire warehouse up here.
This plane is a special model. No kidding. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. There's certainly a high probability of that, which is why we're here, correct? Time to investigate. You're just gonna sit there with your arms crossed and pout, Francisca? Not going to help?
Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth.
These must be all the leftover ones. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. Oh, why not purchase one, Detective? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness.
$1,200?
Miss Nero wonders why they don't sell. You'd need 2 jobs just to buy one. It definitely looks like one is missing. What's this brittle substance I'm stepping on?
That's the floor, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's a bunch of glass fragments. Okay. Oh, nope, not what I meant to click. Connect. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. No? Why would you conclude that? Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lenses. Oh look, I was completely wrong. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Perhaps it's a bit
Good
early.
thing I can guess my way to victory.
I've learned much from Phoenix Wright. However, I believe the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Okay. Bed sheets. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very little.
Yep, that's right.
Yuri.
By the look in his eyes, by the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. I hate you, Gumshoe. So, this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. He's dead, you see.
He's dead.
Wait, a file. It looks like a profile on Von Karma. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Let's find out. What does it say? Blah blah huge bitch. Well, that's accurate. Oh, are you once again not evidence, but instead you're weirdly in my logic pile? Yep, okay. That's a good point. I can't believe this flight attendant buys a $1,200 suitcase every flight.
Every single flight.
All sorts of boxes are piled up here. How neat! I love boxes. And this one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Have you found anything, generic police officer? Oh, have you noticed anything strange happening around here? I'm not sure that he meant to sound so oblivious. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And then you immediately began to direct the investigation? It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Interpol is involved.
It's a top secret operations. I really can't tell you more than I already have. Teehee.
Sorry, Pip, what were you gonna say?
Check out my badge. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, let's present my badge to her, see what she says. Oh, don't waste my time. Okay, fine, whatever.
Aww.
You are a mean bean. Oh, Dick. He was an Interpol agent.
Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Francisca?
Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir.
No one is a big fan of Miss Von Karma. Francisca said she'd come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was, in actuality, Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Francisca has some explaining to do.
Interpol Agent Rouge the Bat.
Now I know who you are. You're that government spy, Rouge the Bat. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? We found a profile detailing your information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct?
You're such a bastard.
So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent then?
Oh, a smuggling ring.
What were they smuggling?
Ugly suitcases. Full of cocaine. Full of a drug that makes you very sleepy.
I don't know anyone like that. I guess the killer got away. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold.
Wonder why I got knocked out. Anywho.
Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? I see. But this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and the broken glasses are a testament to that. And then...
The killer put... Oh, that's Francisca. The killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases, and they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of the pocket, spilling its contents everywhere.
Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Investigation complete.
Yes? Why do you say that out loud? It's pretty easy to see who the culprit is at this stage.
Several dots.
I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. Francisca, you're going to finger the wrong girl, and then Miles is going to prove you wrong. Yeah? Want to fight about it? But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Teniero.
I think it could be several other people, actually.
I don't know. She's got a point. Only a drug dealer would have that much money to buy those suitcases.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
I guess they didn't actually say drugs, but I'll just assume that until further notice.
I know what she's trying to say, but I'm certain it's not as simple as that. Why would such an important thing, like a keycard, be entrusted to only one person? Then what exactly is Miss Meal in charge of?
She was being so foolishly foolish that I didn't want to ask what her other duties were.
Ow, why did you whip me? I understand how you feel, but whipping me now was uncalled for. It's not drugs, it's herbs and spices. My goodness, if you mix herbs and spices with grape juice, it causes quite the chemical reaction. Enough of one to put someone to sleep.
Objection!
That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain, or Miss Meal who did it. I mean, the captain's not named.
That is true. It's usually someone with a punny name and not someone who doesn't have a name, like captain or officer. Wouldn't that be funny if the murderer was just officer?
I can't say I disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well, go ahead and whip him. Then what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal? But it's highly likely the keycard was stolen from Miss Teniero.
It's highly likely. You dumb bitch. I will kill you. You call yourself a disciple of my father?
Do you seriously not remember what he did? That's a fake. Okay.
I hope the real murder weapon is in that weird doll she carries.
Yeah.
There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon?
I mean, the body, right?
Franziska, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions.
Oh, was I?
Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that? How can I not say that when you made a sound? Whatever. Ignore. If the wound on Agent Head's head. Wow. Ignore.
What? Are you having a stroke?
Edgeworth, are you okay? Did I whip you too hard that time?
It's very turbulent, scary. What is it, detective?
The airplane's gone.
From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area? Perhaps with a suitcase? Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh boy. Bye-bye. No, you remove yourself from my way. I assume it's him. What is all that racket?
Oh, good. My luggage, my cargo, they're mine and I demand you return them to me.
I suppose there is no choice.
You have left me no choice but to use strong force. Ah!
Brah.
Oh. This is... Wait. That's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about.
What? After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and come up empty-handed. Slow motion fall.
The doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating on his shoulder down to his mid-back.
I can't believe he's dead.
Oh well.
He fell and died.
Oh, nope. I don't know how to reach this conclusion with these. I guess there's only a handful of choices.
Very well, let me save state in case I am an idiot.
Best stupid guess, cause of death and smuggling.
Okay. Sure, connect, why not?
We can solve this puzzle with brute force. We sure can, boys.
Yeah.
Cause of death and the piggy bank. What? Why? Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there.
Oh, I guess I thought we were already past that.
Which is why there's extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then a piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. A bigger piggy!
Mr. Piggy.
I thought we already. Alright.
No, I guess we didn't conclude that yet. I mean, that is basic logic. If you're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Damn it! If only I could find the murder weapon! Pounds his fist on the floor multiple times. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we've all overlooked from the very beginning. The airplane. Because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. Is no one going to help him? What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Francisca! But what? What do you want? I found it, Francisca. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped. You guys, I think he's dead. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should check up on it.
There's that pompous attitude of yours again, said Francisca von Karma. You should learn to drop that habit.
He's coming from a prosecutor with the habit of whipping everyone she comes across.
Anyway, if you're really a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence.
You two aren't listening at all, are you?
Come on then, show me this real murder weapon you speak of. Can I show?
This is the real murder weapon. Does this count? Let's see, is there any way to be like, here's an airplane, maybe... Check.
There's a magazine.
Hit him over the head with a magazine, a whole bunch.
I have a feeling it might be this picture and the giant thing in the background because that's one of the pieces of art that's been smuggling and he fell onto it. I guess, yeah, because we haven't used that picture yet. Let's try it. No, that was wrong. He fell on this picture. That was practice just now for when I would show you the real murder weapon.
Why don't we add practice whippings to your routine as well?
Fair enough. I need to think about the circumstances of the victim's death in a different way. So why? I know it's the... He fucking fell, okay? How about... I don't have evidence to show. I don't have any evidence to show you.
Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show?
Perhaps I should have phrased it as, that which caused Agent 6's death is incorporeal. What? It was a ghost!
It was a ghost!
Forgive me, but I do believe I've figured out what was the real cause of death. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground.
He fell to his death?
Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. Next to bring up the ghost, the victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. The only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death.
But the murder happened inside this plane.
Did you seriously not notice that guy just falling over the railing?
I know.
Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane he could have fallen from?
Have you not seen this plane? It's fucking ridiculous. As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time.
You can't mean...
Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs in this very cargo hold.
What? Then, we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey, you, tell me you want that, pal.
Quiet!
Oh, I don't remember his voice. Hi, Dave.
Quiet, why are you screaming?
I can't. Why am click it? It's not working. There we go.
Okay, good. He's alive. I was worried.
And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that he fell over the railing to his death.
What? It's still very possible.
That man is leaving proof of that.
I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances.
The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean?
Suppose a large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then?
He would have died.
I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there. There's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios.
It may be there now, but what if it was a ghost?
Miles, why do you always do this? Who hurt you?
But there is no proof that it was always there.
As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there.
Ah, but there was.
What?
What can I use to show her that it's possible that blah blah blah? Is that flight itinerary? Is this it? Thing?
Like a 9-hour flight.
You refueled in the Republic of Zhengfa.
Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zhengfla in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhengfa. Yeah, I think a ghost has committed murder in these games twice?
Something like that, yeah.
I know at least once. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time?
It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfla leg of the fight.
Making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible.
Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched.
Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail.
Allow me to demonstrate how possible it is. Move that box. I'm going to freefall.
Let's take a look. This is a rather large piece of cargo. It will be very heavy. Nor I. But all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Listen, you are such a fucker. Didn't even... Seriously, none of you... Look here! Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission! So, this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry?
Why are you so angry?
I take it this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc? Of course it is mine! I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe! This leaf red statue is worth 10 million cents! Or maybe much, much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. We are but worms who will die in the dirt, Detective. Can you stop talking like that? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, is there a chance that your cargo is related to... Oh, there is a chance that it's related to our murder case. Look at my giant hand. I could punch your block clean off. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art. So no, there will be no touching. Is it this piece of art? Why do you show me something of no value? I hope it's the piece of art that you're talking about. Show me the bread first and maybe we will talk. Wait, he wants me to pay him before he'll comment on this? What a bastard. Alright.
And have this entire empty wallet. Oh, the suitcase is very valuable.
Give it to him.
Keeping track of this. Yeah, actually, he might like it. Skip.
Okay,
Trying to skip. Can't skip.
It's also a cloth inside that is supposed to be very valuable.
Okay.
Very valuable.
What a waste! How horrible to see a bracelet, yet now he is ignored. This is not the voice I am going for.
Dave, it's a little different. What a waste. How horrible to see a priceless piece of cloth soiled.
I assure you it wasn't me. I believe it to be the work of the killer.
I will teach that killer a lesson. You can be sure I will.
I will be the LeBlanc Revolution. I think he means the LeBlanc Retribution? What? Either way, it sounds intimidating. Can I talk to him about it? No. Do you recognize this dead body? How about this Sky magazine? How about this grape juice? How about this cell phone? We still haven't talked about that. How about this wallet? Yes, I'm just going... Oh, what? Okay. It was...
He's going to pay you with his murderous wallet.
So you are finally paying my wasted money. Sorry, but there's absolutely nothing inside this wallet.
How dare you? You are wanting to trick me!
Oops. Not what I wanted to do.
I will sue for fraud!
Can you not shoot me, please? Mr. LeBlanc. There we go. Are you seriously something I missed? I hope not. But in case you are, there's a certain lawyer I can introduce you to. Is that enough? No? What? How about this?
You want my badge?
Am I
you
supposed
shiny?
to walk away and do other shit even though he told me not to? Alright.
Francisca, give me $10.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
You, I can say you have the guts to show me a piece of art at this time. But from a single glance, I can already tell it is mostly worthless.
It's as much more valuable as a piece of non-art, I assure you. You look like you have something to say. Perhaps you are thinking, like casting pearls before swine. You actually hit the nail on the head for once. Logic was added? Was it? I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me. I didn't notice. I'm so used to like getting evidence to show people in the middle of conversations that like logic is weird, and also like the logic tab isn't visible while you're talking to people. Ah, well now that I've put those pieces of logic together, I can do the thing I was trying to do. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc, I was wondering if it might be a fake.
What? How dare you say that my art is fake?
I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring.
Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. It says plain as day that the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe.
No, that's... fuck. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory till I see that statue for myself.
Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right.
Even though I could have done this in the first place. This. I know I've seen this somewhere before. It's almost like it was that photograph I showed ages ago.
This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled in a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it.
I believe a closer look is warranted here. Takes a chisel.
I'll craft myself a new prosecutor's badge.
So, this is the infamous Alif Red statue, Why is it called that? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. these eyes. Are these eyes made of some sort of gem? Are the eyes supposed to be this color? Is it possible this statue is a fake? Oh look, the suitcases. Too bad for Mr. Nero, but this design is unmarketable.
I guess you can check the photo, see if there's any discrepancies.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there was anything else I should be like immediately clicking and looking at first.
I see.
You have a picture. I know I have a picture.
Let him think.
Like, I know I had that immediately, but like, I don't know. I always look around because you never know what more shit you'll get.
Kind of
And
interesting.
it's annoying to go into it with half the stuff and then have to back out.
These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think?
Gumshoe's so cute.
I don't think I see what you're talking. Oh, I don't think you see what I'm talking about. I don't care about sunsets! Focus, detective, you bastard! What color are the eyes in this photo? The eyes of Notre Dame. As I thought. What a terrible fake. This statue is a
Blue or
fake.
gold, detective?
Mr. LeBlanc, what do you want? Do you not know I'm a busy man? I'll allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Alif Red. I suppose it's your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. You know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. And your time is up. Goodbye. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but what is that sympathy? For what? You see, I'd like you to compare the eyes. The large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us! I meant the eyes on the statue in the photo and the one in front of us. Why this sudden yelling? Now then. Oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake.
Now for him to get blown away to a single line and evaporate.
I believe that even further examination will be required now that we've confirmed this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that it was brought on board in Zhengfa, and I will present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. What? No. Oh shit. No, it's not. I clicked a key on my keyboard, and usually I'm using the mouse. Okay. Evidence it was brought on board. Here. It's sitting on top of this, which it shouldn't be. It's stepping all over its neighbor's cloth. That wouldn't be the case. Please forgive the trespass of my subordinate. Why should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it. I don't. What are you talking about? Deduce. Is this not somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yeah? I don't know. Fuck, man. What's that? Oh, hey, Bill Cosby's going to jail. Look at that. Great.
Oh.
Hooray, justice system.
Check.
He's eternal justice.
Okay, can't really see that.
Also, fuck that guy.
Maybe this.
That's my problem with Ace Attorney games, is I always know what I want to express, but I never know how.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I was right. I was skipping it because we were talking. I'm so used to the music stopping. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zingfa, there's no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe.
What if they just moved the other piece, Mr. Miles Edgeworth?
Well, fuck. Which means that this
Yeah.
fake statue was smuggled on board in Zingfa. Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why. To secure proof of the smuggling activity aboard this flight. That may be true. However, you have it backwards, Francisca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Perhaps he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there's someone involved who's forging or modifying cargo certificates. I guess... Oh, that's Gumshoe. Yes. While this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold, a rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zingfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death.
Officer, move this statue immediately.
I don't... How?
Do it, you whip.
I'm ready to report my findings. You moved it? There was some blood.
Oh, good luminol! Nobody's favorite! It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. How did the killer clean up all the blood? One of my favorite parts of certain Ace Attorney games is when you're in, I think 2 and 3, you're able to present profile pictures, which I'm glad they got rid of, because it was annoying to keep track of that. But also, it also gave the player the chance to always go, who do you think committed the murder? Detective Dick Gumshoe! The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. There's no other conceivable timeline for the events to occur for the murder. But if that's true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zingfa, then this becomes... Wait, I don't even know why you're bothering. There's only one other named character. Recall Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zingfa.
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls. But
why would she lie about something like that?
Francisca, come on. I think the
Who
only...
knows? Probably a coincidence. Ignore it.
Oh well, case closed. Let's get drunk. I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. The killer used an incompetent detective as a rag to clean up the blood. The killer used my detective's prosecutor's badge to clean up the blood. Genius.
That's why I was unconscious.
Saving, saving over the ocean blue.
I totally did it. Wait, no.
Right now I did.
Miss Meal. Miss Meal!
Huh?
Do you recall what you said earlier?
about when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhengfa?
Uh-huh.
You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at the time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhengfa.
Oh?
Miss Cammy Meal.
Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did?
I really like her, actually. I wasn't on board with the One Piece smile at first, but I've grown to like it. No one could make a mistake so large, Mrs. Meal.
I don't know, I'm pretty terrible. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time.
This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Tell the truth. Very well. Miss Meal, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found.
Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Whoa. Yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self.
What? How is a man supposed to react? How is a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? I'm in love. Miss Meal, wake up! She fell asleep again. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Boop.
Boop. Foolproof alibi shit.
Miss Meal, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up!
I'm awake, I'm awake.
Don't hit Gumshoe!
Oh, what did I miss?
A poor detective being on the receiving end of a lash in your stead.
Really? Sorry about that.
You could make amends for that by continuing with your testimony.
And then from 5 to 6, I was in the flight room.
So you were alone the entire time, were you?
Yeah, no one else even popped in their head to say hi.
Oh, well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's raise an objection. Miss Meal, there's a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony.
Huh? What are you talking about?
It's not possible that you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. Because Detective Dick Gumshoe was there. I'm calling it. She'll eventually raise her head from sleeping and have the expression of a maniac. I hope so. That's fun. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meal.
A receipt? For what?
It's for the suitcase Miss Tenero bought.
I call bullshit on that evidence. No one would buy one of those suitcases. It has to be fake.
Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Tenero. Miss Tenero!
Huh? Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have locked her up by now.
You're just real dense, aren't you? I requested she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? And did you see Miss Meal there at the time? So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Cammy Meal?
The bathroom?
I'll be the judge of that. Examine the toilets. I'll be the one to ask the questions here.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know.
Do you take me for a fool? That's a little too convenient to be true. Your poo can't save you now.
But it's the truth. Cross my heart.
I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. I'll just punch her.
You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew, but you'd think that maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda, too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard and in the shop, you know? If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious.
Totally trying to frame her, you know.
You know how it is. I mean, like, come on.
Please leave Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now.
I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you got your eye on Miss Rhoda.
Of course, I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I?
Never mind, but you want to know something? Miss Rhoda kinda actually like...
Now's not the time for this sort of talk. Ooh, she likes me.
She's literally trash. I like her. She's like a good version of what's her name? April May from the second case in the first game. I like her gimmick more. If we're gonna do the boobs liar.
Look, oh wait, this is, I don't need to read this again. Okay, let's take a look at what my evidence is.
I first played this game years ago, I really hated Emil, but now I see how golden some of our lines are.
Miss Beale, it's very unladylike to push suspicion onto someone else.
That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just saying that Miss Rhoda's very suspicious.
There, you're literally, quite literally what I just said.
I don't get what you're saying. Must be a really abstract concept, huh?
The only thing abstract here is the landscape inside your head. Ooh, good one, Edward. Thanks, Edward.
Oh. High five, self.
And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal? What is it that you say you do around here?
I take care of the attendance room.
That doesn't count.
Aw, but I spend so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility.
It's actually very nice of Tenero to come to Kami's defense for any reason.
Especially since she keeps getting thrown under the bus by her.
Yeah, she hasn't reacted to that once.
Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place?
What else could I have meant?
Yeah, so I'm really good at Borginian. It helps when I smuggle things.
She's fluent in Borginian. Then I suspect you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian.
Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Virginian. My favorite author is Virginia Woolf.
Very interesting.
Oh, you're in charge of that, because that's fucking fake, bitch. What's...
So, you are the only one on this flight crew that speaks Borginian? Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Virginia for a while.
If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who reads it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Alif Red could not have occurred.
Man, honestly, what moxie did, like, literally be accused of a crime and pretend to be asleep as your defense?
Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Am I going to have to press you again? Boop.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, is she faking her sleep with a bubble wand? That's so funny.
It's exactly as you say.
She's smoking a bubble pipe.
Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling?
No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document, but you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation, after all.
All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it?
I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly, so sorry about that.
It seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight.
Suppose, and this is just a supposition, even if I was involved with the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Hi, King.
Hi, Keen. Is Keen talking? I can't hear him. Oh, there he is. I'm playing Ace Attorney Investigations on stream.
Very neat. Which Discord isn't so fucking ridiculous?
Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member?
Gosh darn it!
You
stop
are really
it, stop
you're
it.
you are bitten on that horse to the end, aren't you?
After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes.
So perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case.
What are you talking about?
She's fucking like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who's under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can.
You have no proof that Rhoda's being set up, or that she isn't.
Actually, I believe she was indeed the intended target from the beginning. I believe the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the beginning. I imagine it's the suitcase. The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so?
Her poses are great.
The only way any of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan.
Darn, I probably should have just put it back in the suitcase. I don't know why I didn't do that.
There wasn't enough time to put the body back in the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whoever was at hand and adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree?
Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway?
That's because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances dictated that who the murder victim was? The killer was at loss for what to do with Agent Hicks's body, but as it just so happened, there were a bunch of empty suitcases nearby, Being a skinny man. What? Oh, this is. I meant that he was an agent. Hang on. I'm getting a.
It was aliens! Oh no!
This looks like a spam call, but I'll check. Hello?
Don't call this number again, Slam.
Don't call if you know what's good for you.
I gotta go get some cooking done. I'll talk to you folks later.
Bye, Jamin. Mr. J-Man.
Mr. J-Man.
Mr. J.
Man.
Man.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
There's a questioning of your ringtone.
Yeah, it's a bad ringtone, but it's really piercing, so it's easy to hear. I don't get that many phone calls, so it's fine. Being a skinny man, the killer thought to put his body in the suitcase and hand it off.
You mean that whole... You mean that whole friend...
Yes. No, that's not what I said. You've wrongly deduced my meaning, Miss Malay. Oh. I'm glad this game's like... This game's bar is so fucking lax compared to the other Ace Attorney games. Like, you can fuck up like 12 times.
Nice.
Usually when it gets to like the end case, it's a lot less lenient.
Yeah, I figured.
If you're gonna talk about completely unrelated matters, do you mind if I take a nap?
Hold on, I'm just getting to the meat of my argument. The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. I'm glad we paused to ask the player about something so obvious it shouldn't have even been a question. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age, so it's very hard to get a dead body through the airport. So no matter what you do, the chances that a body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice. You know, actually, I feel like once you've gotten the thing off, I guess at customs, that's pretty hard. But I feel like getting a body off an airplane would be way easier than getting one on. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is me, I confess. Is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Meal. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And?
Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence.
Ugh. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture. This phone. Did you hear Jello's ringtone? How weird. If we call his phone, we'll be able to hear it from anywhere on the plane. I don't have any actual evidence.
I thought not.
But that's because it went missing. And still is.
Missing? What do you mean by that?
Missing, it means things are gone when you're looking for them.
Shut up, expert.
In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Francisca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me.
That's right.
But Agent Hicks... But his cell phone could not be found at the crime scene.
You mean the killer took the phone with them?
Precisely. I suspect that if you were to find that phone, it would lead us directly to the killer.
Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well?
We wouldn't know that until we try a little experiment, will we?
throws her off the building. Now die!
Francisca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. Your Franciscans, if you won't mind.
Shut up, Edgeverse.
You know the victim's phone number, do you not?
Of course I do.
Oh, silly.
It's ringing from somewhere, sir.
I hear it, detective. Now where's it coming from? Oh, cute little wobble animation. Miss Meal, wake up.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I got sleepy all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I used to love as a child. My precious daughter.
Where would it be? Guess I'll look around. Oh. They moved the statue to check underneath it. Please stop making this noise. It's Miss Tenero's. That'd be fucking wild if she actually was the killer.
Was the salvo?
So, Mr. Edgeworth, how'd it go? Where'd you find the phone? And why was it in Miss Tenero's locker?
Well, because you put it there, bitch. I found it in the flight attendant's room. In Miss Tenero's locker.
Rhoda Tenero! Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away.
Wait, I have a theory! This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time.
This is related to the keycard, all right. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that.
I can't believe this case is still going, honestly.
The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. This is the one bird. That is the one bird we cannot ignore.
Why are you talking like that? What should I do? Francisca's right. I can't just offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then. Why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on or in it.
Hold it! What now, Miles Edgeworth?
It's not over yet. We have to figure out why the killer took the phone.
What?
Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. I've never looked at a cellular phone before. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Is this a flip phone? Can I flip it open? This must be the switch that opens the phone. When did they start putting keyboards like these into cell phones? Computer cell phones? All you need in a phone is the phone part, nothing more. Do you have a problem with what I do and do not care for, Detective?
Yes.
The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even play. Oh, that's the same dialogue. Great, cool.
Can't even play games on your phone.
I love how AA's post-2020 world includes planes with 2 floors, but it's still in the keyboard phone era.
Ah, it's a camera lens. I can't believe they have cameras in phones nowadays. The young people. Mr. Edgeworth, you're 24. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks present? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures?
Miles Edgeworth, Jesus Christ. This looks like a very similar model to my own, and mine can take photos just fine.
Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures of Miss Rhoda De Niro, our murder culprit?
Yes.
If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. But
even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone.
ugh, I'll find a way. Don't you worry about that.
Can I go back to sleep now?
The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data.
What? What you say to me? What do you mean by that, Francisca?
It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. His phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible the photos are still inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone, which generally you can't do unless you can access the screen of a second phone, because you need to allow access, but whatever.
Francisca, your phone, if you please.
I'm not handing you my phone. It's transferring... Alright, displaying it now.
This is...
Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. But this has no piece of meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right?
You're right. You're free to go.
Wrong. Fired.
Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use?
Well, there's no blood, which, like, is probably about to be pushed.
Yeah.
However, I was saved in a miracle-like manner. Perhaps that is what to run away from death by the skin of one's gums means. Try to narrowly escape death by the skin of one's teeth. Shakespeare, you're foreign and speak 2 languages and one not as well as the other. What an idiot. Now then, there must be something in this photo. Suitcases.
Bed streets.
The fact that all of the suitcases are here in this photo is odd. No, is it? Agent Hicks was still alive at the time.
Oh, Agent Hicks is alive at the time, so what exactly is odd about the suitcases that haven't been used yet?
Yes, well, I was only pointing out that things are different between now and then.
Your off-topic ramblings have put this attendant to sleep yet again, Miles Edgeworth.
I'll give Sleepyhead...
Now it's time for you to die.
I'll give Sleepyhead here a rude awakening, a deafening objection, and a contradiction.
I actually don't know what it is.
Is it the... Is... I remember it being Red Street instead of Bed Street. I don't know, maybe that's just my dyslexia kicking in.
Big boxes in there.
What's all this? Oh, they are cargo ship from Virginia to Zhengfa. So, the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zhengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere. Well, one cluster of boxes is written in Virginian. It says... It is cloth in English.
That's not a real country.
Cloth. Could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What for is that scary face? Miss Meal.
Yes?
It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence, after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is.
Ha! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth.
The Borginian cargo in this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Oops. I clicked on an Amazon link.
And what is that supposed to prove?
The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I finally found the answer to this very photo. In this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zengfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from it to clean the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Camille.
Ha! That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Borginian.
Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature.
What?
There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then... logically, the killer would have opened this box first.
Take that!
Precisely. And bed sheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say?
So what are you trying to say?
I'm obviously saying you're the killer. Come on, keep up. That if I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been what I would have spotted first.
However, the killer chose to use some Borginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for this?
I'm actually quite curious as to why there's a bunch of bed sheets being shipped in this art gallery. The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold, so they were afraid to leave signs that the box where the sheets had been opened. However, the Borginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Many different colors, it's very ugly.
Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zhengfa?
That's right. That is why the Borginian cloth was used, and that the only Borginian reader on board could make such a calculated decision. It's you, Kami Meal. You and you alone.
Oh, she shields herself with the doll.
It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we'd have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in time. We may even find other pieces of evidence to incriminate the killer within those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhengfa?
Obviously, I'd rather wait.
I don't know.
Me. He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble.
Well, that flight sucked. 1 star.
I did a terrible Yelp review.
Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye.
Mr. Edgeworth, would you like to buy one of my suitcases?
No.
Would you like to buy the one that has blood in it?
Buy a suitcase? Why, I would literally rather die.
Seems kind of insensitive, Mr. Edgeworth.
I hate you. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation.
I don't want this. That's... No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Francisca?
Oh, she died.
Departure.
Oh, she did.
Oh, she did.
Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier? Best character in the game coming up. Okay.
I thought I told you when I first landed. I have no time for idle chatter.
I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met.
I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am?
You are Francisca von Parma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect.
Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. Now, I am the same. A dancing Perrault, living her life on...
is that how you say that word? I think it's Perrault.
Living her life on the name and fame of her invincible father built. Oh, there's a cut on my leg somehow.
True. Your father, Manfred von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible.
What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is but only one sliver of the big picture.
Sounds like a dangerous assignment.
You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself.
Yes, I suppose you can.
Plus, there is another agent on this case with me.
Oh, another agent?
He's a star among Interpol agents and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, you may even run into him one day.
I was simply caught up in this one case. I can hardly see why we'd cross paths.
I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same.
I'm not following you.
You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Niles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back. In full.
Ominous. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation.
Oh, no, I literally did nothing in this case, sir.
Just how much did you cut his salary by, Francisca? Like you're one to talk, you bastard. Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office?
Why'd you have me cancel your car?
Because I hate you, and I like wasting your time. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francisca von Karma. The smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Edgeworth speaking. I don't know who this is. And you are? Mr. Amano. Ernest Amano, correct? Alright, that seems like a good stopping point for the stream.
That seems like a good spot, you know, kidnapping.
Yep. Alright. Thank you guys for coming out and watching. I hope you enjoyed. Case is pretty good.
I'm mostly enjoying this game so far, though it does have some of the original Ace Attorney trilogy weirdness with certain logical jumps and investigating shit. But yeah. All right. Bye.
Yeah.